Today's topic we're gonna discuss is regarding this IAM, identity and access management. So we have completed. Let us once again revise what we have completed on this course. Let me give you an overview. So let me share my screen with you first. First, we completed an VPC. Second, it's like VPC is a service that is used to create LAN. We talked about the VPN connections. Third, we even talked about this EC2, EBS, elastic block storage. Hmm. And what else we completed yesterday? S3, life cycle S3, and sixth one. Today we are going to complete IAM. And water lifts, Route 53, glacier, code commit, code deploy, code pipeline, SNS, SES, work docs, beanstalk, cloud formation, CloudWatch, Opswork, RDS, relational database server. So these topics will cover up in this course. Okay. So let me give you an overview of what topic is what exactly. So with VPC, you'll create LAN. With VPN, you can establish and secure safe tunneling between two different VPCs, or you can create an secure tunneling between VPC VPC అంటేనే ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ మీ మైండ్లోకి ఏం రావాలంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు గెట్ a LAN in a cloud data center. So you can create a VPN tunnel between the VPC and your on-premises data center. I mean LAN. Okay, tunneling. EC2 ante with the help of this EC2 service you can launch instances. For that instances you'll attach the storage. It's in block storage. You'll attach to servers. S3 is an object storage. And Iam identity and access management is to create users and to define group and to write and to create groups and to add these users to groups. We'll write policies here, roles. Well, I'll tell you in detail. So it's something to user management. And Route 53. Route 53 is an DNS service, domain name service. So it's like after creating this website, you have to configure in a domain server. So where exactly this website is located and what is the name of the website. You'll write a rule like you'll write a creates. You'll write a records uh, like there are types of records. It's so many types of records. A record, CNAME record, MX record. We'll talk about this. So and so www.example.com. This website is located at so and so server like 192.168.3.4. Like that you'll write here records in Route 53 so that this DNS server in which ఏదో ఒక DNS server లో మీరు రాస్తారు కదా ఈ Route 53 లో AWS guy DNS server so that this DNS server will synchronize with other DNS servers throughout the world and it will share the record that you entered into your AWS DNS Route 53 service so that the world knows all the other servers of DNS that are existed in the world. They'll know where exactly this www.example.com is located. So whenever user types from his computer clients www.example.com, their DNS server also knows that where exactly it located. It will redirect that request to your 192.168 whatever the IP address you given while creating your DNS record. Like that, the basic principle of DNS is. So domain name service. Example.com is a domain. Karthik.com, Suresh.com. These are all this. It's like technology.com, IBM.com, HP.com. These are all the domain names. And we are writing a records for domain names where exactly they are located. In which server. The .com అనే website ఏ server లో ఉంది. Not only for web servers we'll create a DNS entries. We'll create a DNS entries for mail servers and different kind of things. We'll write a policies on the DNS entries. We'll talk about this in detail on this later class. So basically Route 53 is a service that works on domain name server. Excuse me. Next coming to Glacier. Glacier is a storage service and this is a backup storage service and so for every data center they'll maintain an storage servers. It's like a backup servers, right? So similarly for Amazon also we'll have a service and they are calling it as Glacier. So in this Glacier you'll put all your backup files. మనం monthly or weekly or daily or backups ఇస్తాం కదా. You can store that backup files in Glacier. Why I have to store the backup files in Glacier? Why can't I create a new instance and attach an EBS volume to that a very large size EBS volume and I can show that there కూడా అనొచ్చు కానీ here Glacier he is offering this to as a SaaS service. So on the back end he'll take care of the instances, the operating systems, our storage మొత్తం వాడు చూసుకుంటాడు. So just upload your data and he'll safeguard your data and he's offering this service to you at very cheap price. ఎలా అంటే మన రిజిస్ట్రార్ ఆఫీస్లో పాత రికార్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి కదండి, బండిల్లో బుక్స్ పెట్టి ఫైల్స్, అలాంటి కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఓల్డ్ డేటా. If you had some old data, you can store that old data in Glacier service. అంటే రిట్రైవల్, అంటే డేటా రిట్రైవల్ చాలా లెస్ ఉన్న డేటా. For that kind of service, you go with Glacier. We'll talk about this, how to create glaciers and how to work on these glaciers. Next, come into code commit. Code commit, by using this code commit service, it is a centralized repository service. ఒక 10 members developers ఉన్నారండి. They'll write their code in their own PCs and they need one of the centralized server to store their code. So this code commit service, with the help of this service, will create repositories and will store the code. అంటే maybe on the back end, I hope some of you have worked on SVN subversion servers. So similar to that, code commit is same. On the back end, he is using Git, Git. Git is also one of the code storage service. ఇక్కడ ఏంటి అంటే we'll have the versioning, different kind of features. So just remember that code commit is to store the code. Okay, we'll talk about this also. And code deploy and code pipeline. So code pipeline is, after storing the code, you have to build some var files. అంటే var కాదు, ఆ కోడ్ అంతా తీసుకొని ఒక సింగిల్ ఫైల్ గా you have to build అండి. Then after building that files, we'll come up with code deploy service where it will deploy those code in infrastructure or ఒక server. For example, ఒక 10 developers కలిసి ఒక వెబ్సైట్ మీద వర్క్ చేసి ఒక వెబ్సైట్ డిజైన్ చేసి ఆ వెబ్సైట్ని తీసుకెళ్ళి ఆ వెబ్సైట్ డిజైన్ చేసిన కోడ్ తీసుకెళ్ళి కోడ్ కమిట్లో స్టోర్ చేశారండి. Now that service, that code or that source code, this code pipeline will build చాలా thousands of files ఉంటాయి. ఆ thousands of files ని it will build into a single file, and that file is, this code deploy will take that file and it will deploy that particular website in web servers. So where you will create these web servers, that can be created with the help of this cloud formation service. Okay, అంటే with the help of this cloud formation, you will create stack. What is stack? It's nothing like a platform where you'll have the layers. What is layer? Applications, environments. First, in cloud formation, basically here you'll create environments. Under the environments, you'll have different layers. అంటే ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్స్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే నేను చెప్పాను, ఇన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ లైఫ్ సైకిల్ యుల్ హ్యావ్ టెస్టింగ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్, డెవలప్మెంట్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. సో కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్ చేసి కోడ్ బిల్డ్ చేశాక వీ హ్యావ్ టు డిప్లాయ్ దట్ కోడ్ ఇన్ విచ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. ఒక టెస్టర్, ఒక డెవలపర్ తన ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ లైఫ్ సైకిల్లో విల్ హ్యావ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ వేర్ డెవలపర్ డెవలప్స్ ద కోడ్ అండ్ హిల్ స్టోర్ దట్ కోడ్. ఫ్రమ్ దేర్ అవర్ code pipeline will pull that and it will build a file into a single file. ఆ సోర్స్ కోడ్ ని మొత్తం ఒక సింగిల్ ఫైల్ లో తీసుకొని కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్కి ఇస్తే కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్ విల్ డిప్లాయ్ దట్ ఫైల్ ఇంటూ టెస్టింగ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ so that testers can perform the testing on that source code or the website. So for that deploying, we need some infrastructure, right? The web server, the database server, and the operating system about that web server and the application on the web server. So that creation of that infrastructure, I mean the environment, is possible with the help of this cloud formation service. Okay, and SNS, simple notification service. So yesterday I gave some brief description about the SNS. It's a notification service. Like with the help of this SNS, you can pop up your notifications to your mobiles, or you can pop up your notifications to your మొబైల్లో ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిన అప్లికేషన్స్కి, or you can pop up your notifications to systems through a new pop-up window, alerting messages. Such kind of scenarios will use this SNS, and also will use this SNS service. And SNS service basic agenda is to notify the users. How the notify how do they notified? By popping up your message or sending an SMS. You can also notify the users by sending an SMS. And what is SES? SES is a service for sending emails. So let us assume yours is an e-commerce market and you had some 10,000 clients, and మీరు ఒక ఆఫర్ వచ్చింది, మీరు ఒక ఆఫర్ పెట్టారు, and you wanted to send these emails to 10,000 clients to their mail IDs. So if you send from your normal mail servers, ఏమవుతుందంటే, as per normal email policy, those will get bounced back or declined by this end users. ఎందుకంటే you are sending a huge amount of marketing mails, which usually doesn't allow on normal mail servers. For that, we need some specified mail servers. We'll call that mails as commercial mails. అంటే మెయిల్స్లో కూడా టైప్స్ ఉంటాయండి. కమర్షియల్ మెయిల్స్ అని, ట్రాన్సాక్షనల్ మెయిల్స్ అని, మార్కెటింగ్ మెయిల్స్. So how this SES helps is, see, SES is a mail server. This mail server acts as a mediator between your mail server and the client destination side mail server. So whatever the mails that will send the mails via SES mail server. And Amazon guy is maintaining a mail server. So whatever the mails I have to send, I directly doesn't send to my destinations through my mail server. So I'll send via or through this SES mail server. So that basically SES mail server and the Amazon guy mail server will maintain a very good relationship with other mail servers throughout the world. What is this relationship? Why he is talking about the relationship first in this technical? Yes, every mail server will maintain, say, some relationships with other mail servers. What kind of relationships? And so while composing a mail, the mail format has to be so and so, and the attachments has to be should not exceed so and so limit size. And కొన్ని ఉంటాయండి, policies and procedures ఉంటాయి for composing the mails. So SES guide will provide that policies and procedures for composing marketing mails, transactional mails, business mails. So according to his template, you have to compose mail and you have to send it to destinations. So that for sending emails we'll use this SES. I'll tell you more advantages on this. We'll talk about this on later classes. So SES service is for sending the emails. We'll talk about this. Next, work docs. Work docs. What is work docs? It's a documentation sharing service. You'll just upload your documents onto the cloud. You create users. For that users, you can share that one document with multiple users. And in the document, you can, on the same document, you can highlight some topic and you can like you can comment on some of the topic on the single file, and you can share that comment with multiple people or a group of people, so that it's like document sharing, and it's not more than that. There are some other advantages and features of workdocs. We will talk about this on later. And Beanstalk. Beanstalk is a service where assume that you are a developer, and మీరు ఒక developer, and assume that you are working on a project where other 5 members are working on the same project. You are working on only single module. మీ ఒక పెద్ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ని your TL divided into 5 modules, and he given that single module to each one of the developer. So you are one developer. So after you completed your development process and you wanted to check it. So where do you check it? You need some platform to check those infrastructure, those output, right? వెబ్ సర్వర్ కావాలా చెక్ చేయాలంటే, డెవలపర్ పీసీలో వెబ్ సర్వర్ ఉండదు. ఉన్న వెబ్ సర్వర్లో చెక్ చేద్దామంటే అక్కడ బిజీ ఉంటుంది, లేదంటే టీఎల్ రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేస్తారు. అందరు మాడ్యూల్స్ అందరూ డిజైన్ చేశాక నేను కంబైన్ చేసి చెక్ చేస్తాను ఎవరికి దాంట్లో బగ్స్ ఉన్నాయో ఐ టెల్ యూ అని. సో అలాంటి కేసెస్లో we provide a service, SaaS service. Here you can upload your code and we'll automatically provide the infrastructure that is required for your code. Just specify I was uploading the Java code. Give some parameters, what kind of code it is, and upload that code. Beanstalk will automatically configure the required infrastructure for your code to run, and it will showcase you the output. After seeing that, you can delete it. So it's basically a SaaS service. And coming to CloudWatch. CloudWatch is a network monitoring tool. Not only network monitoring tool, it is a resource monitoring tool with Amazon Web Services. So let us assume you have launched an instance in EC2 and you wanted to perform the monitoring services on EC2, like what is your CPU utilization, memory utilization, network in and outflow, health check. Then that can be possible with the help of this CloudWatch. So the word itself resembles as that cloud, which is the cloud, and watch. So it will monitor all the resources. And next, coming to OpsWork. OpsWork is a configuration management tool. Code deploy, code pipeline, those are continuous integration and continuous delivery tools. What is this continuous integration, continuous delivery, configuration management? So with the help of this continuous integration tools, example, and you'll build your files continuously, daily or hourly. ఆ కోడ్ మోడిఫికేషన్స్ ఏమైనా వచ్చినా దాని నుంచి బిల్డ్ క్రియేట్ చేసి కంటిన్యూస్ డెలివరీ ఏం చేస్తుంది, అది దాన్ని డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తుంది ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ మీద, క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్ మీద. ఎక్కడ డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తుంది? కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ మీద. సో with the help of this ops work, here you'll write a scripts. Have you heard about this tool called Chef? So configuration management ante, with the help of this configuration management tools, you will not only manage the deployment process or building process, you will manage the entire infrastructure. With the help of this configuration management tool, you can launch the instance, you can install the operating system above the instance, you can install the applications above the instance, you can install the code on the instance from source code, taking the code from the source code, building the files and pushing that builds into whatever the instances you launched. So everything, code build, code deploy, and code hosting, launching a VMs, everything, all the managements, configuration managements can be possible with the help of this ops work. Ops work stands for operations work. So here on the back end, this AWS guy is using Chef tool, CHEF. Okay, so we'll talk about this. This comes under this ops work, code pipeline, code deploy, code commit. These concepts comes under cloud formation. Not all the cloud formation, some parts of cloud formation comes under the category DevOps. And these concepts VPC, VPN comes under the category networking. EC2, EC2 comes under the category virtualization. EBS, S3, Glacier comes under the category storage. Iam user management, and even the Route 53 comes under the networking. Code commit, code deploy, code pipeline, ops work comes under the category DevOps. Cloud formation, cloud watch, infrastructure, and RDS. RDS stands for Relational Database Service. So what is this database service? So in order to build a database, first before he introduced this RDS service, usually we have to launch one of the instance and we have to install the database softwares on that instance, and we'll make it as database servers. But he's offering this database service to you clients for as a SaaS service. Why is Karthik is telling SaaS and SaaS and nothing, and it's in software as a service. We know that have I told you about this different types of uh, cloud computing, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. So cloud computing, these guys, AWS guys, he's offering his services. He divided his services offerings into three types: IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. IaaS అంటే the services that you deal with infrastructure are called infrastructure as a service. The services you deal with platform are called platform as a services or softwares. Let us assume launching an EC2 instance. From here you can choose what the size of the instance and everything, what operating system I have to deploy on it, what kind of code you going to keep on that server and you are going to serve to the clients. It's up to you. You'll cover up. This service EC2 service comes under the category of IaaS because you're dealing from scratch from infrastructure level. So PaaS service, on PaaS service, so he'll take care of the infrastructure, AWS guy. So it's for your choice whether what operating system you wanted to deploy on that or any application you wanted to deploy on that. So that's what about the platform as a service. He'll take care of here in PaaS, he will take care of IaaS and PaaS, software as a service. Here the AWS guy itself will take care of that infrastructure, platform about the infrastructure, and the software about that infrastructure. Example, code commit. So that's an repository service where we'll store our code, right? So he is taking care of that, where exactly our code is hosted on which server. We don't concern about that, where our code is stored. He'll take care of that infrastructure, the server, physical server, the operating system above the server, the application that is helping us to store that code. So he'll write an SLA with you, service lease agreement with you. So I'll provide 99.99% of SLA for S3 or 99% of SLA with other services. So in some cases, SLA stands for service lease agreement, and in some cases there may be a chance of geographical disasters or power failures or something. అలాంటి కేసెస్లో he cannot do and we cannot do nothing, right? So అలాంటి కేసెస్లో కూడా he is always suggesting architectures. Sir, while you are hosting some services on AWS, if you are hosting a very high most customized service or most powerful service, so host design your architect such a way that it is hosted on multiple regions. If your website is more core of your business, then host your website at Singapore. అక్కడ ఒక వెబ్ సర్వర్ పెట్టండి, ఐర్లాండ్లో ఒక వెబ్ సర్వర్ పెట్టండి, వర్జీనియాలో ఒక వెబ్ సర్వర్ పెట్టండి. ఒకవేళ మొత్తం సింగపూర్ కొలాప్స్ అయినా your website will serve from this Ireland instance, or if something happens with Ireland, then your website will serve through this Virginia instance. అంటే he'll first the architecture guy has to design his architect how he wants to design, whether he's concerned about this website survival or latency or traffic or failover cases. Okay. And under this RDS relational database servers, we can build, we can choose. He's offering 5 database servers for us only. One is MS SQL, Microsoft SQL Server. Second is MySQL, Oracle DB, PostgreSQL, and what's other? DynamoDB. DynamoDB, not he's calling the other DB. It's some other. So he's 5 different database services he's offering to you as a SaaS service with the help of this relational database service. మళ్ళీ దీంట్లో చాలా కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి ఈ ఆర్డిఎస్లో, like deploying the server databases in multiple regions and replicating those database servers. He'll call it as agent deployment. So we'll talk about all these things on later. Okay, this is an overview of our course. So today's class will talk about IAM. Let's enter into this IAM service. So let me directly just give an overview of you first. So what is IAM? IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. సో ఈ వర్డ్ని బాగా అబ్జర్వ్ చేసినట్టయితే ఐడెంటిటీ. So first it resembles that there are some users. We'll identify those users with their names or by creating something, email address, whatever. So and we'll provide on these identities some access. What kind of access? Either it is resource accessible access or working on resource with restricted permission access, whatever. So we'll provide some access on those identities. So this is called identity and access management. So from these identity and access management, you'll manage these resources, you'll manage the creation of users, you'll manage what that users you created restricted to what resources of AWS or what services of AWS. So basically, let me tell you, in this identity and access management, you'll create users, you'll create groups, you'll attach some of the users to groups, and you'll create policies, you'll create roles. So what is this? Users, groups, policies, roles. Before understanding this, so do you know what's the basic difference between procedure, policies, and rules? I appreciate if anyone answer this question. What is the difference between procedures and policies and rules? Anyone? Roles, or we can call it as protocols. Or just tell me the difference between these procedures and protocols.
Yeah, Karthik, procedure is kind of thing on what the basis, like step by step, the process should follow.
Mm-hmm.
And protocol is like who has to access and policy kind of thing, certain limits of securities kind of thing, hopefully, on my idea. And
Yes,
roles
you're
and
correct.
responsibilities, however, yeah, roles and responsibilities kind of thing, the challenges taken up or given by the hierarchy kind of thing.
Okay. From your side, Madhu, anything?
It's something like, to evaluate something like, that project standards are as per the organization policy to follow some protocols. Okay. When they follow this development approval or some, in order to follow some implementation of maintenance activities. Okay. And to comply with some regulatory standards actually in order to mitigate the risk and everything.
Okay, good. So, guys, first procedure. Uh, ఇది ఎలా చెప్పాలంటే నేను మీకు ఒక నార్మల్ తెలుగులో ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తాను. నా ముందు ఒక గ్లాస్ ఉంది. రైట్ సైడ్ నుంచి ఆ గ్లాస్ని తీసుకొని లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ పెట్టాలి. సో అది నేను ఎలా అన్నా పెట్టొచ్చు. నా ముందు నుంచన్నా తీసుకొని పెట్టొచ్చు. ఆ ముందు రైట్ సైడ్ చేతిలో పట్టుకొని నా వెనక నుంచన్నా తిప్పి పెట్టొచ్చు. పెట్టడం అనేది ప్రొసీజర్. ప్రోటోకాల్ అనేది లేదు, మీరు ముందు సైడ్ నుంచే పెట్టాలి, లేదు మీరు వెనక నుంచి చేతి నుంచి తిప్పుతూ పెట్టాలి అనేది ప్రోటోకాల్స్, ద వే హౌ టు ఫాలో ఇట్. అండ్ రోల్స్. రోల్స్ అంటే ఎవరు పెట్టాలి. లైక్ హియర్ ఇన్ దిస్ ఐ యామ్ యూజర్, you'll create users and you'll create groups. Let us assume that you created X, Y, Z users and you created A group and B group. So you're calling A groups as administrators and B groups as normal standard users. So you wanted X, Y in A group, administrator group, and you wanted that Z in standard group. And after that, for the group, administrators and standards, what kind of policies you are going to define, what kind of roles you're going to define. And normally policies works on roles. We'll apply the roles on groups. In groups, we'll have the users. Confused? We'll, we'll create a users, okay, and we'll create a groups. We'll attach these users to groups, okay. We'll create policies on resources, AWS resources. For example, you'll create a policy saying that what kind of if for example EC2 resource మీద అనుకుందామండి, to what extent whether he gonna terminate that EC2 instance or whether he gonna stop that EC2 instance or reboot that EC2 instance. You'll create a policy for action, performing action on EC2 instance. For example, you created a policy saying that only terminate policy. And the terminate policy, whenever you attach this terminate policy to the groups, ఆ గ్రూప్స్ లో ఏంటి మళ్ళీ 2 different roles ఉన్నాయి. అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ రోల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, స్టాండర్డ్ రోల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. So basically you'll attach these policies to roles and you'll attach these roles to groups. So ఆ group లో ఉన్న users కి if you attach this to standard users, so that standard users can permit the EC2 instances. So role policies works on resources. We'll apply these policies on roles and we'll attach these roles to groups. Under the groups you'll find the users. Are you clear, guys? పాలసీస్ అన్న వెంటనే మీ మైండ్లోకి రావాల్సింది పాలసీస్ వర్క్స్ ఆన్ రిసోర్సెస్ ఆఫ్ AWS. So let me tell you in detail. Let me take you to this port. So policies can be restricted. It can be performed on a user or group or roles. ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్పాడు, to assign permissions to users or users in a group or the roles that are attached to this groups. What kind of permissions? Like actions on what resources, how affect, terminate, keep, shut down, reboot. Okay, it's like, let us assume you need to perform some action like you wanted to list all the S3 content. Okay, bucket lo unna objects untai kada, we'll call it as S3 content. You wanted to list some S3 content, then a listing S3 content is nothing but action, and where you perform this action in what resource? S3 on a bucket S3. S3లో ఒక bucket మీద perform చేస్తున్నారు. What kind of effect you wanted to perform on that? Either you wanted to list, either allow, list అంటే allow ఉంది, or deny. So we'll define this in policy and we'll attach this policy to roles. So an IAM role is similar to user. In this, ఇది ఎంత చదివితే you'll get confused. So it's like you'll add these roles to groups and whether he has what kind of permissions to what level, whether he can do this action or not, whether if he's an administrator he'll do everything, if he's a standard user we'll limit this standard. అంటే వీడు అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ వీడు స్టాండర్డ్ యూజర్ అని ఎలా చెప్తారు? దిస్ ఈజ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ గ్రూప్, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ స్టాండర్డ్ యూజర్ గ్రూప్ అని ఎలా చెప్తారు? Because you'll give full permissions to administrator with the help of policies and you'll attach that whatever the policies to that roles. With administrator group అనేది define ఆ group ని ఎలా define చేస్తుందంటే, because you'll write the administrator roles on that group. How do you write the administrator roles on that group? Because you'll define the full permissions with the help of these policies and you'll attach these policies to your administrator roles. Okay, any confusion on this, guys? No. Others? Hari, any confusion on this differences?
No, I'm clear.
You're clear. And what about Madhu and Raghu? Raghava also said no. Madhu, clear?
Yeah, clear, Karthik.
Okay, good. So in this, by using this identity and access management, we'll create users, how we'll create these groups, how we'll create these policies, and we'll create the roles. Creation of users, groups, policies, roles is one category. And listen the sentence what I was telling. Attaching users to groups, attaching policies to roles, and attaching roles to groups is different. మీకు రేపు పొద్దున ఇంటర్వ్యూకి వెళ్తే ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతారండి, డిఫరెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్. So under security and identity category you'll find here Identity and access management is used to manage users access and encryption keys. Just click on that, you will go to this Iam dashboard. This is what then Iam dashboard. So right now I was logged into this AWS service via my root account, and I logged into my root account, but now under the root account I was creating the users. Users are nothing but it's like a child's under the root account. So right now I don't have any users. What I'll do, I'll create users. Just click on the users, add user. So provide a username. Maybe I'll provide this mail ID as a username, and what kind of access you wanted to provide on this user. See, I said whatever the actions you wanted to perform with AWS, you can perform it through GUI, graphical user interface. అంటే ఈ బ్రౌజర్లో మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం మన కళ్ళకి కనిపించేది గ్రాఫికల్లీ ఐ కెన్ సీ దట్. And one is through CLI, command line interface. So here access type, how do you want to enable these users to work with Amazon Web Services? Through programmatical access or console access, GUI access, where you'll provide simply a Gmail username and password. On programmatical access, you'll have access key, secret key, and you'll call the services with the help of CLI, command line interface, or APIs, application programming interface, or SDK, software development kit. So what is this API, CLI, and SDK? CLI అంటే కమాండ్ లైన్తో ఇంటర్ఫేర్ అవ్వడం అండి. GU అంటే గ్రాఫికల్ యూజర్తో ఇంటర్ఫేర్ అవ్వడం. API అంటే కొన్ని అప్లికేషన్స్లో కొన్ని సర్వీసెస్ని కాల్ చేయడానికి application programming interface. With the help of that application, you're interfacing to your cloud services. SDK, or you'll have some software development kits. With that, you're interfering with AWS. I'll tell you, even we'll work on this SDK, API, and CLIs with Amazon Web Services while we are working with other services. Code commit. Here you'll work with, you have to download the software development kit, complete SDK into your laptops, and you have to install. Andukante, for example, in order to work with Amazon services, your computer, వాడు బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో అమెజాన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ మొత్తం ఈ వాడి డేటా సెంటర్ మొత్తం వాడు ఎలా మేనేజ్ చేస్తున్నాడో మనకి తెలియదు. జావా కోడ్ రాసి మేనేజ్ చేస్తున్నాడో, పిహెచ్పి కోడ్ రాసి మేనేజ్ చేస్తున్నాడో, రూబీయో పైథానో, వి డోంట్ నో. సో మన ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్కి ఏం తెలుసు? ఇట్ నోస్ ఓన్లీ సమ్ విండోస్ బేసిక్ కమాండ్స్, చేంజ్ డైరెక్టరీ, some kind of such kind of things, performing deleting action, some kind of only Windows basic commands will know our operating system. If you want to perform operations through your CLI from your computer, you wanted to perform operations like launching an instances in AWS cloud. So your computer has to interfere with other programming languages that are running on the cloud side, AWS data center side. For that, first you have to know what are all the programming languages that are running on the cloud side. How should I interfere? By calling what commands? ఆ కమాండ్స్ ని ఆ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ని మొత్తం కమాండ్స్ అన్ని కాంబినేషన్ చేసి AWS వాడు ఏం చేశాడంటే హీఈస్ ఆఫరింగ్ దట్ కమాండ్స్ ప్యాకేజ్, a bundle of his commands to you as SDK kit, software development kit. First you have to install this SDK kit in your laptop, so that apart from this Windows basic commands, your laptop knows or your computer knows some other extra commands that he got from this installing this SDK, so that it can interfere with AWS cloud data center. Okay, if it is Amazon guys, he'll offer his own SDK. Microsoft Azure, he'll offer his own SDK development kit. If you want to interfere with Java dependent language, you'll download JDK, Java development kit. Okay, ala. So I wanted to interface with Amazon Web Services through console. Check mark. No, I don't. I wanted to interfere with both. Check mark both. So that ఇక్కడ programmatical access and check mark చేసిన వెంటనే he'll provide you an access key and secret key. If you check mark this management console access, he'll ask for you to create a normal password for your mail ID what you created. Okay, click చేస్తే ఇక్కడ కింద అడుగుతున్నాడు auto generate password. How do you want to generate a password for this user? Automatically, or you'll customize your password by typing here and you'll save your password in your mind. Oh, I'll save my password in your mind. Okay, and he's saying required password reset. User must create a new password at the next sign in. No, ఈ యూజర్ నేమ్ అండ్ ఈ పాస్వర్డ్తో ఎప్పుడైతే యూజర్ లాగిన్ అవుతాడో అప్పుడు వెంటనే నువ్వు కొత్త పాస్వర్డ్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి అనుకుంటున్నారా లేదా? ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్. ఓకే, సో క్లికింగ్ ఆన్ దిస్ నెక్స్ట్, I'll get access key, secret key for interacting with programmatical access side. I'll get username, this username, and this password for interacting with console of AWS. So next he's asking, very good, whether you wanted to add this user to any group. You don't have right, you don't have any groups. So he's suggesting you to create one group. I'll create one group and I'll name that group as normal standard group, or I'll name that group as special group, special EC2 group. Okay, and while creating a groups, it should not contain any alphabetical characters. Yeah, ఈ నెంబర్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉండొద్దంట అండి, స్పేసెస్ కూడా ఉండొద్దా? ఓకే, స్పెషల్ EC2 group అని ఒక గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాను and I am attaching these users to that group. And why I wanted to call this special EC2 group? Because I wanted to provide full permissions, full policies to this group. What group, what kind of policies? AWS full permission, EC2 EC2 full access. So I'm going to give to this group Amazon EC2 full access, so that whoever the users in this group, they can perform full actions with Amazon EC2 service. Or we can restrict this EC2 only read-only access. I'll give Amazon EC2 read-only access. Create group. Okay, a group create చేసాను, ఆ group కి అటాచ్ చేస్తున్నాను ఈ user ని. Next, okay, username basudka.karthik, access type programmatical access and AWS management console access, password himself created custom. He told no, required no reset of password on the first login, and he's a member of special EC2 group. For the special EC2 group, we know that we have given the policies of only EC2 read access. So create user. While creating user only, under this console, same console, I created group also. Okay, now yes, successfully you created a group, and here is your access key, and you wanted a secret key. Download, క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు మాత్రమే డౌన్లోడ్ చేయగలుగుతారండి, తర్వాత ఎప్పుడు మీకు యాక్సెస్ కి సీక్రెట్ కి ఈ సేమ్ యాక్సెస్ కి సీక్రెట్ కి తీసుకోలేరు మీరు. Download. So I downloaded a credentials. Let me open up this credentials. So under this credentials, I can find the username, the password, the access key, and the secret key. Okay, close. So under the users I had one user. Under the groups now I had one special EC2 group. Under the policies I created a lot of policies are there. Now you can even create a new role. Special. So on what services you wanted to create this role? EC2 service. And under this role what kind of policies you wanted to attach? EC2 not EC. I want EC2 full access. EC2. Here it is. Okay. Create role. సో దట్ అంటే ఈ రోల్స్ ఎప్పుడు కాల్ చేస్తారు, యూజర్స్ ఎప్పుడు కాల్ చేస్తారంటే కొన్ని సర్వీసెస్ మనం డీల్ చేసేటప్పుడు యూ హ్యావ్ టు అటాచ్ దిస్ రోల్స్ టు దట్ సర్వీసెస్ ఫర్ పర్ఫార్మింగ్ యాక్షన్స్ ఆన్ అదర్ సర్వీసెస్. అంటే మీకు ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజన్గా ఉండొచ్చు రోల్స్ గురించి. వెన్ వీఆర్ స్పీకింగ్ అబౌట్ క్లౌడ్ ఫార్మేషన్, కోడ్ డిప్లాయ్, కోడ్ కమిట్, అక్కడ వీల్ పర్ఫార్మ్ థియరిటికల్లీ దిస్ విల్ కాల్ దిస్ రోల్స్. అక్కడ మీకు ఇంకా గ్రేట్ నాలెడ్జ్ వస్తుంది, ఇంకా ఇన్ డీటెయిల్గా అర్థమవుతుంది రోల్స్. So what I'll do, I'll log out from this AWS console and I'll log in through this user. సో నేను నార్మల్గా ఇక్కడ సైన్ ఇన్ టు కన్సోల్ అంటే లేనండి, లాగిన్ అవ్వలేను, బికాస్ దిస్ యూజర్ ఇస్ ఎ సబ్ యూజర్ ఆఫ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది రూట్ అకౌంట్. ఆ రూట్ అకౌంట్ ఏంటి? దీస్. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంటెడ్ టు లాగిన్ టు వాట్ ఎవర్ ద యూజర్స్, ఇలాంటి యూజర్స్ ఉంటారు కదా, చైల్డ్ యూజర్స్, ఈ చైల్డ్ యూజర్స్ లాగిన్ అవ్వడానికి యుల్ హ్యావ్ ఎ సపరేట్ URL. So you have to provide this URL to the clients. So first let me log out, sign out. Because https is to / అని ఈ నెంబర్ ఉందా, ఆ నెంబర్ అనేది యువర్ అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ అండి. దట్స్ యువర్ అకౌంట్ ఐడి. So this is your account ID. Under this account, root account, you'll have a user called Basudkar Karthik @gmail.com. So for this user what we have given only one permission, EC2 service మీద, అది కూడా read only permission. So let me enter into this S3. You must sign up for Amazon EC2 before you can use this Amazon EC2 console. It's quick and free. It's quick and free. Sign up. What is telling? So I am user basudkar.karthik@gmail.com. He is a sub user of this account. Okay, very good. I am trying to access this EC2 service. Error retrieval. You must sign up for Amazon EC2 before account needs subscription. So he's saying for activating this account, it may take up to 24 hours to fully activate. If you're, because నేను అకౌంట్ ఎక్కడ నా యూజర్తో క్రియేట్ చేశాను కదండి. సో దిస్ యూజర్ నేమ్ హ్యాస్ టు బి రిప్లికేటెడ్ విత్ ఆల్ ద డేటా సెంటర్స్ ఆఫ్ AWS వరల్డ్ వైడ్. ఓకే, ఈ అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేశాడు అండ్ ద పాలసీస్ ఈ పాలసీస్ రాశాడు అని అదంతా వరల్డ్ వైడ్ డేటా సెంటర్స్ మీద రిప్లికేట్ అవ్వాలి. ఫర్ దాట్ he's saying that it takes up to 24 hours. So after the 20 it is activated, but to get fully activated on all the data centers of different region and all the services, so it takes up to 24 hours. So he's saying to be patient for that. So we'll check this whether tomorrow I'll log into this user account and I'll see whether I can launch the EC2 instance or not. Okay, I should not have the permission for launching an EC2 instance because I restricted this user only for read permissions with EC2 service. Okay, we'll see this on tomorrow class. So any doubts on this topic, guys? No. What about others?
No, sir.
No. So everybody is good with this today's topic.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, guys, that's it for today class. Already it's been 10 to 12. Okay, we'll end up this class for today and we'll continue on tomorrow. Okay, if you have any doubts, just don't feel shy. You can post me after the class also on this WhatsApp group. Okay, so that and until then just go through your this AWS documentation. You will find it as AWS Iam documentation, and you can Google or type just you'll find the documentation. Just go through these documentations also. Okay, yeah, that's it for today and we'll end the session. Okay, guys, have a nice day and bye bye.
Yeah,
Thanks, Karthik. Bye.
done. Thank
Thank
you.
you. And we'll meet up in
Bye.
Monday morning. Okay, it's Friday,
Okay,
right?
done.
It's
Yeah,
Friday. We'll break on Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. Okay, guys. Bye.
yeah, okay, done.
Yeah, please share us that video, sir.
Yeah, I'll share that. No problem. Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye.